Now, recently, the anime Spy Family has sort of blown up, whether it be for them being accused by TikTokers of, like, portraying realization between a father and a daughter that's like 5, or that it's just a very wholesome and good anime in general. And personally, I'm excited to see the episodes and what's going to happen further on in the series. But with that being said, recently there has been art made of the, well, I wouldn't say main character, but probably one of the most popular characters from the anime, Anya. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but I really don't care. Now, Anya is 6 years old in the anime, and they were labeled as a test subject for a tiny bit of backstory. And recently, there's been art made where it's essentially just them, black. Now, this is very reminiscent of the situation where Thuman, where they drew themselves as Kiki's delivery service and made the character Kiki black, and by resort, people got mad at them for quote-unquote blackwashing, even though they were literally just trying to draw themselves as a character. And funnily enough, there has been a part 2 to this. There's been a little sequel with the upcoming recent art that I'll be showing in this video. Now, essentially, the artist Soul, or at Soul King Lives on Twitter, had essentially drawn Anya as a person of color, and people on almost every social media platform that isn't sane, so Twitter and TikTok, were essentially outraged at the fact that they could have dared to make a character a person of color by any means. That's just the worst thing that's ever happened, and we need to abolish it because it is so bad. If you can't tell from the tone of my voice, I am being sarcastic because, oh my god, no one cares. It's a drawing that does not influence anything or put anything onto you. Why do you care so bad? But before I get into these actual TikToks and quote tweets of this, tweet, I just want to say, if you enjoy this sort of content, then I do recommend going down and subscribing. We're trying to hit 10K before the end of summer, even though it hasn't started yet. It would really help out a lot, and I would be motivated to make more videos if so. Thank you so much, and daily uploads should return soon. But essentially, yes, the backstory is that this artist named Soul had made a image of which where it's literally just one of the frames from Spy Family, but Anya is black, and there's nothing wrong with this image. There's no hidden bad intentions behind this image. It's literally just a drawing. This is probably one of the cringiest replies to the tweet, and I believe this person is from Japan, so maybe they didn't word this right and it came out wrong in translation. But here, let me read it off now. I really can't figure out the idea of a so-called social justice warrior like you. To demonize the appearance of a Japanese anime character is obviously disrespectful to the original, but I don't know if the original offer can file compensation to the people involved. This is such an interesting word choice. Social justice warrior demonizing? Bro, honestly, that's kind of racist. I'm not here to speak for anyone, but come on. To make something black is to demonize it. There could have been some translation errors that may have occurred during this, but come on, bro. You cannot put it like that. It's funny because the argument here is non-existent. It's a non-issue. Also, why would they file compensation for a parody? That's not even legally viable. Bro, it's fair use. They took something and made it their own by changing up about 70% of it? I mean, you state that it's demonizing it, which would make it a grand difference from the original one, and then you state that it's not fair use. What? They go on to state that after they just give up their legal argument because, they know it's stupid, they go on to talk about how it disrespects the original anime, and dude, you're not looking too good at this point when you're doubling down on your more of a racist point. Again, I don't want to speak for anyone here, but and he's getting ratioed. Don't worry, everybody. They're getting ratioed. Yuck. Why make her a racism word? Girl, that's disgusting. Blatant racism. Clearly a troll trying to be funny. Mission failed. My bad, bro. I'm sorry for not thinking that racism is funny. And blatant ones at that, where it's just saying the word in general. Cut this shit out. Anime is Japanese based. We don't matter. We are a minority. 0.2%. Stop trying to take over shit you have no stake in. It is not representation. We see you. Stop trying to ruin anime with this BS. So if they're making... Okay. Phone is trying to interrupt me making a video. So if they're trying to ruin anime, what's the point of making the fan art in the first place? To dehumanize the character or whatever? Whatever that other guy was saying earlier. I don't know how this would ruin the anime or the anime's representation. How would this tarnish the anime's representation? But how is this bad? It's simple fan art of a character. How is this ruining anime? Calm down, son. It's just a drawing. And then there's all these other Twitter users with K on profile pictures that try to argue the fact that this is somehow harming anything. And no one's taking this as something that's so official, like it's actually going to be in the anime. The only people that are taking that are people who haven't watched the anime. And even then, they were in confusion until they watched the anime, and then they realized, oh, it's just a recolor. It's just a literal edit. It's not that big of a deal. But I just wouldn't be shocked if all these people are closeted racist. Like, why are you so pressed? I'm not trying to make any allegations here that they are. I'm just saying, why are you so mad? You have no reason to be so mad about a drawing that actually, in reality, has not much to do with the anime aside from the fact that it's a edit, whatever you want to call it, recolor, whatever. Like, nothing's changed about the anime. We're not going to be seeing Anya drop in N-bombs in the next episode or something. It's literally just a little for fun edit of the character just to, you know, have some fun and make it the edit of the character. But people think it's something that's so deep in just like trying to ruin the representation of a wholesome anime, which it's not. There's been confirmation from this artist that they just do it for fun. Ironic enough, I know there's going to be people that are going to take a response to this, or if there will be at all, and they're going to say, well, if it's just a drawing, then why isn't, for instance, lolly stuff allowed? Well, the issue with that and the comparison with this is the fact that it does not correlate whatsoever. Just based off the fact that they're fictional drawings, that means that the argument that I take with this is the same that I take with lollies? No. Lollies can actually have an influence on people's lives and their, let's just say, attractions or philias. And then this has no effect on anyone aside from the racist Twitter users that have very, very bad confidence issues. People are considering this blackwashing. Like, there's this one Twitter account that's like, stop blackwashing, and they quote tweeted this trying to state that it was blackwashing. It was silly because blackwashing would be taking like a historical figure or anyone as that and stating that you fixed them or this is how they should have been, when this is just like an edit and it's like to just show that they like the series and that they drew either themselves or just Anya as a person of color, and it's not that big of a deal because blackwashing would be a whole different thing. Like, there was the Z fixes our situation with like the whole fat phobia thing that didn't exist. You know, fat phobia isn't real, but you know, they kept saying that they were fixing things because they weren't fact. And that situation I can't really compare to this one, but you know, the people saying that it was blackwashing, you probably don't know what that means, so do a bit of research into it, and then, you know, you'll know what it means, and then you'll know that this is just a simple edit of a character that has no real offense or real hardships on anyone's community. Now, finally, there's this TikTok that was made that came across my For You page today, and that's why I started making this video. So essentially, it just states, like, artist gets criticized for redrawing Anya, and then this TikToker says, as they should, TBH, it kind of takes away from the wholesomeness of the anime by making her into a violent creature. Don't get me wrong, I scroll through my phone on TikTok for probably hours. I waste a lot of time doing that, but I also have a love-hate relationship with TikTok, and this is what I sort of mean by that. It's clear that it's a joke, but I also want to take into account what the image says, that they were criticized for drawing Anya differently, or Anya. God damn, I can't pronounce that name, holy shit. But it's not criticism. They could have worded it like harassed or attacked, because that's what it is. There was about like 5 people trying to make an actual point, and the rest of them was just blatant harassment and like saying slurs. I swear, I've been scrolling through the quote tweets for maybe like 15 minutes, and it's either like people talking about how this is degrading anime, support, or the N-word. And there's no in between. But that is about it for this video, and yeah, so this teaches everyone, don't be racist. If it's an image on the internet that can affect you in your real life and is simply a redraw of something, that then don't get too mad at it because it's not that big of a deal. But yeah, that's essentially like does it for this video. If you'd like to see another video exactly like this one, then I do recommend going down or going up. It should be on screen right now. You know what I mean. There's a video on screen that you can watch. It's exactly like this one. I really encourage watching it. You should go down, like I said earlier, and subscribe, and go follow my Twitter. That's also down. Damn, voice crack. But yeah, that's about it. Bye. Follow my Twitter right now. 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 Follow my Twitter.